Уважаемые учащиеся, мы начинаем дистанционный урок. Обратите внимание, что время, проведенное за компьютером, не должно превышать 15 минут. Если вы устали, поставьте запись на паузу, закройте глаза, сделайте зарядку для глаз, отдохните, после чего вы сможете вернуться и продолжить наше с вами занятие. Всего хорошего! Good morning, my dear students. So during the previous lesson we have written the test and I hope everyone received the results. So today we are beginning the new topic as usual. Well, what we are going to discuss in module 8, the last module in the book. So, you know, it's spring. The spring is coming and there is usually a wonderful weather outside. And what do we usually do in such a wonderful weather? That's right, we go out. Go out to do some activities, to do something active on the fresh air and maybe not, maybe something inside. And especially a lot of things happen in summer. So this module will be devoted to our pastimes, to our activities, to everything that we do in our free time. Open up your books, page 121, and look at the title of the module, Pastimes. So, what is pastime? And what can we call this name? First of all, it is your activities, your hobbies, your, sports, because a lot of people and a lot of students have sport as their main activities, some active rest, and other things that we usually do when we have some free time except study. This is what we are going to discuss. If you look at pictures on page 121, you may see different people doing different activities. So these are the main pastimes, the examples of active rest and some things that people do for themselves. And this is what we are going to discuss during this module number 8. Okay, turn the page. Page 123. This is the first lesson in this topic. Usually the first lesson is usually written in vocabulary, but I think you know that. So, out of the ordinary is the title of our today's lesson. What is out of the ordinary? First of all, let's think what is ordinary. What is ordinary? What is ordinary? Ordinarный. You may think ordinarный. What is ordinarный? То есть обычный, обыкновенный. So in this case, the expression out of the ordinary will be translated like неординарный, необычный. So it is something unusual. Something unusual, something not common, something that you don't see every day, something that you don't meet every day. So this is the topic of our module today. And I think you've already seen the pictures, you've looked at the pictures and these different activities that may be considered out of the ordinary, non-typical. Different from our usual pastimes. So this is what we are going to speak. But before reading the text and before speaking about these activities, as usual, we're going to put down the words into your vocabulary. So, open up your vocabularies, and put down the words from the screen into your vocabularies. You will have 5 minutes to do this task. Pause the recording for 5 minutes to put down the words and word combinations into your vocabulary. You're welcome. Now, repeat after me. Speed freak. General idea. Strap a board to their feet. Slide whiz down. To be proud. Enough. Roll down a steep hill. To be totally protected. bumps and knocks, bounce, bizarre activity, waterfall, to be addicted to, addiction, addict, fall in love with, ex, pull oneself up, equipment, to be in good shape, realize, actually, spectator. Good. If you need, read the words once again. Repeat after me once again. Good. So, what activities are we going to discuss? What are the extraordinary activities in the world that you know? Look at exercise 1, page 122 in your book. Here are the most common non-typical activities, the most usual, extraordinary activities out of the ordinary, those that are out of the ordinary. Now let's read and repeat after me. Ice climbing, underwater hockey, sandboarding, zorbing, skydiving, snowboarding, rock climbing, paragliding. So I think now you have fully guessed what we are going to discuss in this, so what the text, our text will be about. And now we can pass over to working with the text, to reading it and translating it. So we can you see that there is not one text, but there are 4 short passages marked as A, B, C, and D. These short passages are about some people. Look at them. Their names are in red. They're Brian Potter, Sarah Murphy, Paul Lynch, and Harry Bolton. Look at these people. Look at their activities. Now we are going to learn more about them. Your task is to read the text, paying attention to the words from the vocabulary that we have put down into your vocabulary, and try to understand the essence of the text. These texts are actually not very difficult, so I think you will read them and translate them pretty well, paying attention to the words from your vocabularies because it is important. Now, you have 10 minutes to read and translate the text. You're welcome. Pause the recording for 10 minutes. Okay, good. You've read the text. Now, be ready to answer my questions to check how well you understood the content. Open up your copybooks and put down the date. Good. Well, now you are to answer my questions and find the answers in the text and put down the answers into your copybooks. After that, we will check the answers. You're welcome. Here are the questions. For how many years has Brian Potter been sandboarding? What is exciting for him? What is the general idea of sandboarding? What place did Brian take in the International Sandboarding Championship in Germany? How is Colin Murphy called in certain circles? What is a zorb? What does zorbing involve? Where did this activity originate? What has Paul Lynch climbed? What is Paul addicted to? What equipment do you need for ice climbing? What physical level should a person have to do ice climbing? Where did Harry Bolton hear about underwater hockey? Where is underwater hockey played? What equipment do people need to play underwater hockey? When and by whom was underwater hockey invented? Find in the text the answers to these questions and put them down into your copybooks. Okay, now let's check. Here are the answers. Check yourself. Now it's time to pass over to exercise 2, page 122. You are to find in the text the information. Find in the text who have been doing their sport for over 2 years. Who has to be very fit? Okay. Who does a sport that is similar to another sport? Who found out about their sport from the media? Who has taken a part in an event? And what event was it? Who does their sports with the others? A team sport. Who didn't believe their hobby existed at first? Now, find in the text the answers for these questions. So as I have told you, mind that there might be several people, A, B, C, and D. So these passages, these extracts may be about several of them. Okay, you have 2 minutes. Pause the recording for 2 minutes. Okay, now let's check. Here are the answers. Check yourself. Now look at the list of activities. Now as we've worked with the text, we've read and translated with the help of the words and the vocabulary, you know everything. Now let's pass over to the list of activities in exercise 5, page 123. Look at these activities. I think you know them. All of you know them pretty well. And there won't be any problems with understanding what is meant. So look at them and answer the question to yourselves. What activities, or which of these activities, or maybe some others, do you enjoy doing in your free time? Pause the recording for 1 minute and try to answer this question to yourselves. It's just for yourself. You're welcome. Good. Now, you know about some information about pastimes, at least how to speak about pastimes, what the information about pastimes include, how to work with it, what to do. And our lesson is coming to an end. Put down your home task. Open up your diaries and put down your home task for the next lesson. You are to write a short story about your favorite pastime. You are to write a story according to the following plan. You are to tell what activity it is, how long have you been doing this activity, what are the rules or principles of this particular activity, what equipment you need, what level of physical activity you have to gain to do this activity, and the last one, why you like this particular activity. While writing your home story, you are to use at least 5 expressions from your vocabulary. The more the better, of course, but at least 5. You are to use at least 5 of them. So, your works have to be sent to me until the next lesson. I hope you understood the task, and now our lesson is over. Goodbye and good luck!